People thought it was a joke when 85-year-old Mama Remy married 25-year-old Junior. But behind the gates of their mansion, a storm was brewing. Wild nights, shameful secrets, and a love that was anything but normal. What happened next? Nobody saw it coming. The whole street stood still. Everyone, young, old, rich, poor, gathered outside the tall golden gates of Mama Remy's mansion in Lekki. Some came out of curiosity, others in disbelief. They watched as a white limousine stopped in front of the house, and out came Junior, tall, muscular, dressed in a cream agbada with dark shades covering his eyes. He looked like a Nollywood actor, not a groom. Then the second car pulled up. Slowly, 85-year-old Mama Remy stepped out, holding a diamond-encrusted walking stick. Her jewel was taller than her head, her lipstick too bright, and her smile as wide as a child with candy. People gasped. She wore a white lace dress with silver heels. She looked old, too old to be standing next to someone who looked like he just finished NYSC. "Is it real love or money?" someone whispered. "No, she used charm," another hissed. But Mama Remy didn't care. She waved like a queen, holding Junior's arm like he was her prize. They walked into the compound where a full band was playing, and dancers were ready to turn up the party. As they exchanged vows in the decorated garden, Junior glanced at his phone twice. The crowd didn't notice, but Mama Remy did. Something in her chest tightened, but she smiled. After all, she had waited her whole life to feel young again, and Junior made her feel like a woman. By evening, the street was full of gossip. "She's rich, yes, but what will she do with a man like that? They say he's a sex addict," someone murmured. "But she's 85, and he's 25. Lie, this marriage won't last." Inside the house, as the door closed behind them, Mama Remy touched Junior's chest. "Tonight, I'll show you I'm not that old." But Junior's eyes were blank. He smiled back, but his mind was already elsewhere. That night was silent. Too silent. The lights in the mansion were dimmed, and Mama Remy had changed into a red satin nightgown that barely covered her wrinkled legs. She looked at herself in the mirror, adjusted her wig, and dabbed more perfume on her neck. Junior walked in wearing only boxers, his tattoos glowing under the soft light. His phone beeped, but he ignored it, barely. "You look good," he said, eyes scanning her body like he was trying to convince himself. She blushed. "I'm ready, my husband." But the next hour was not what she expected. Junior was rough. Too rough. He didn't touch her with care. He didn't kiss her gently. It felt like he was angry, like he was somewhere else in his mind. When he was done, she was left shaking, out of pain, not pleasure. The next morning, Mama Remy couldn't get out of bed. Her bones hurt, her hands trembled. Junior was already up, shirtless, sipping juice in the living room and scrolling his phone. "Good morning, sweetie," she said, walking slowly with her cane. "Morning," he replied without looking at her. She sat beside him and tried to touch his arm. "Last night was different." He pulled away. "You're not young, Mama. I can't keep pretending. This is normal." Her heart dropped. Junior stood up. "I need to jog. Clear my head." As the front door closed behind him, Mama Remy stared at the floor. Her eyes filled with tears, but she wiped them quickly. She was Mama Remy, the Queen of Lekki. She could handle anything, but deep inside, she felt something was terribly wrong. And she wasn't wrong. Mama Remy lay in bed for most of the morning. Her back ached, her thighs were sore, her chest felt tight, not from sickness but from shame. She had married Junior because she was lonely. After all her children moved abroad and her late husband passed, the mansion echoed with silence. Junior had come into her life like a thunderstorm, loud, wild, and impossible to ignore. He made her laugh. He called her sweet thing. She hadn't felt alive like that in decades. But now, the way he touched her felt violent. The way he looked at her felt cold. She tried to dress up in a fancy Ankara gown and went downstairs, hoping to reconnect. Junior was back from his jog, shirtless and sweaty, drinking from a bottle of water. "Junior, come eat," she said with a soft voice. "I'm not hungry," he replied. "I'm going out again. The gym." She paused. "Didn't you just come from there?" He shrugged. "I need more time. I'm restless." She followed him to the door. Restless or bored? He turned slowly, face blank. "You want honesty? I feel trapped. I didn't know being married to someone your age would feel like this." It cut her deeply, like a knife to her ribs. She tried to hold onto his arm. "I can learn. I can try harder. Just give me time." He looked at her. Really looked. For the first time in days. But instead of softness, his face twisted into a mix of guilt and pity. "You can't fight time, Mama. Your body is fighting. You already." He walked out the door, leaving her frozen on the marble floor, alone again. She stood there long after the car pulled away. 3 days passed. Junior came home late each night, smelling like perfume Mama Remy didn't own. She didn't ask questions. She simply watched, observed. It wasn't until the 4th night that she saw something strange. As she sat quietly on the balcony sipping tea, she noticed Emeka, the houseboy, looking at her with a strange kind of concern. He was only 19, always respectful, always quiet. But tonight his eyes lingered. "You have something to say?" she asked. Emeka looked down quickly. "No, Ma." "Then stop staring like I'm dying." He paused, then spoke with trembling lips. "It's not you, Ma. It's Oga Jr. I saw something." She narrowed her eyes. "Speak." Emeka leaned in close. "Oga brings women here when you're sleeping. I saw him last night. 2 girls. They left before dawn." Mama Remy's hands shook. Her teacup rattled. "You lie." "I swear, Ma. I heard them laughing. One called you his sugar mummy." She stood slowly, heart racing, vision blurry. That night she waited by the door until Junior came home. It was 2:15 a.m. He smelled like cigar and sex. "Did you have fun?" she asked with a calm voice. He froze. "What are you talking about?" "Don't insult me, Junior. I gave you everything. My name, my house, my heart." He dropped his keys on the table. "You gave me a prison." She walked up to him, chest trembling. "You're my husband." "No," he whispered. "I'm your pet. And I'm done pretending." Then came the slap. Not from her. From him. It landed across her left cheek like lightning, fast and sharp. She stumbled backward, gripping the table for balance. "You hit me," she gasped. Junior wiped his face, frustrated. "You made me do it." Tears poured from her eyes, but not out of fear, out of rage. She had been used, and now she was going to do something about it. The next morning, Mama Remy wore all white. Not because she was happy, but because she was done playing the fool. She sat in her sitting room with silence thick as smoke. Junior had gone out early again. No apology, no explanation. Just a wallet and car keys slammed on the table before he vanished. She called her lawyer. Not the family one who always smiled and made things look polite. She called Barrister Aduk, a woman known in Lagos for her sharp tongue and colder heart. The kind of woman you call when you don't want peace. In less than an hour, Aduk arrived, dressed in a fitted black suit, dark glasses, and red lips that never curved into a smile. "What is the issue, Mama Remy?" she asked, already flipping open her iPad. "I need a new will. I need a divorce. And I need to trap a dog." Aduke raised an eyebrow. "Trap?" Mama Remy's voice was steady. "Junior married me for money. I want to make sure he gets nothing, not even a doormat. Aduke nodded slowly. Do you have proof? Mama Remy smiled for the first time in days. Soon, I will. They drew up papers, changed names, removed Junior from documents he never even knew he was on. By evening, Junior still hadn't returned, and Mama Remy sat alone with a glass of juice and her shaking hand. Not from age, but from a quiet kind of fury. If Junior wanted to play dirty, she had just started warming up. That night, Emeka came to her quietly while she sat in the kitchen. He looked around like someone being watched. Ma, he whispered. Do you want to catch him properly? She looked up. You have an idea? He nodded. Put a hidden camera in the bedroom, the guest room too. That's where they sneak in. I can install it for you tonight. She stared at him for a long second. Why are you helping me, Emeka? His face turned red. Because you've been kind to me, and he doesn't deserve you. Mama Remy agreed. That night, when Junior left again, Emeka worked quietly. He placed small cameras inside the flower vase, the mirror frame, and even the AC vent. Everything looked normal, but nothing was safe. 2 days passed. Then 3. And finally, on the 4th night, Mama Remy sat with Aduke in the living room, watching footage on her tablet. Junior entered the house with a woman who couldn't be more than 22. They kissed against the guest room door. Then another woman joined. Laughter, moaning, Junior shouting things no husband should ever say. Mama Remy's hand tightened around the tablet. Aduke didn't blink. This is gold. Junior came home the next morning to find Aduke waiting in the living room. Who's this? He asked, blinking sleepily. Your exit plan, Mama Remy said calmly, stepping out of the kitchen in her morning robe. He laughed. You called a lawyer? For what? Aduke handed him a thick brown envelope. To show you how fast paper can burn a man. He opened it. Inside were photos, screenshots, legal forms, a divorce draft. He froze. This marriage is over, Mama, Remy said. And trust me, I'm not the one who will be packing out. Junior's mouth twitched. You think you can ruin me? Mama Remy's smile was pure ice. No, Junior, you ruined yourself. But as she turned away, she didn't see the look in his eyes, a look that meant he wasn't done yet, not by far. For the next few days, Junior didn't leave the mansion. He didn't speak much either. He just roamed the house shirtless, watching Mama Remy with strange, silent eyes, like a lion studying an old, tired gazelle. Mama Remy tried to stay calm, even cheerful. She played her favorite juju music in the evenings, wore her finest kaftans, and drank orange juice by the pool like nothing had happened. But deep down, she felt it. Danger. Heavy and real. Then one evening, as the sun set behind the Lekki skyline, Junior joined her on the upstairs balcony. You think you've won, he said quietly. She didn't turn. I'm just taking back what's mine. He chuckled bitterly. I recorded us, all of it. You begging, you moaning, you letting a man young enough to be your grandson do things to you. She finally turned. What are you saying? I'll post it, he whispered. You'll be the disgrace of Lagos, the rich widow who couldn't control her thirst. Her glass slipped from her hand and shattered. He took out his phone and waved it in front of her. One button, Mama. Just one. Her. Body froze. Her lips trembled. But she didn't beg. Not again. What do you want? She said finally. He smiled. 3 things. You cancel the divorce. You put me back in your will. And you give me control of your company. She stared at him. You want my life. I want what you promised, he said with a grin. Love, loyalty, and luxury. She said nothing, but inside, something began to break. Not her heart, her limits. 2 days later, Mama Remy made a call. It was short, quiet. and full of unspoken meaning. That afternoon, as Junior sat by the pool, a sleek black car pulled into the compound. From it stepped a tall woman in a blood-red dress and heels sharp enough to kill. Her makeup was flawless. Her walk was fire. Her eyes, deadly. Junior's face went pale the moment he saw her. "Amanda?" he whispered, standing slowly. She walked past him like he was a ghost and entered the house. Mama Remy met her in the living room. "Thank you for coming," she said softly. Amanda smiled. "You said it was about Junior." Mama Remy poured her a drink. "Yes. I need to know the truth about your relationship." Amanda didn't flinch. She sat, crossed her legs, and said, "He's not just a sex addict, he's a scam artist. He married you because I told him to." Mama Remy blinked. Amanda continued, "We planned it. He targets rich older women. I find them. He seduces them. We split the money." The room started spinning. Amanda sipped her wine. "But he went too far this time. You see, he fell in love with your lifestyle, not you. And when I told him to leave, he refused. Said you were his jackpot." Mama Remy stood in silence. Her legs wobbled. Amanda stood up and walked over. "I'll help you get everything back. But when this is over," she smiled, "he's mine." Mama Remy didn't ask what she meant by that. She just nodded, eyes full of fire. That night, Junior came home to find Amanda waiting in the dark. She kissed him on the lips, slow and sweet. Then she whispered, "She knows everything." His heart stopped. Amanda stepped back and said, "And she's not the one who should be scared. You are." Junior didn't sleep that night. He lay on the couch, eyes wide open, chest rising and falling like he'd just run a marathon. Amanda's words echoed in his head like thunder. "She knows everything, and she's not the one who should be scared." He tried to call Amanda. No response. Tried to open the bedroom door. It was locked from the inside. He poured himself whiskey and sat in the kitchen. That's when Amika walked in to get water. Junior stared at him coldly. "You," Junior growled. "Did you tell her anything?" Amika didn't flinch. "I told her what a real man wouldn't be afraid to admit." Junior stood. "You're getting too comfortable." Amika smiled faintly. "I'm not the one being replaced." Junior threw the glass at the wall, but Amika didn't even blink. He turned and left, calm as ever. Junior stormed back to his room. He ripped off his shirt and looked at himself in the mirror, at the tattoo on his chest. It was a name. MS. People thought it stood for his mother's initials, but it didn't. It stood for Mama Sugar, the name of a woman he scammed in Port Harcourt. The woman who died 2 weeks after finding out he emptied her accounts. He had promised Amanda he'd never let that happen again. But here he was, caught again in his own mess. The walls were closing in, and Junior knew if he didn't act fast, Amanda and Mama Remy would bury him alive. Maybe not with guns, but with power. While Junior wrestled with fear, Amanda and Mama Remy sat in the master bedroom, plotting. Amanda opened her purse and placed 2 items on the table, a hidden voice recorder and a micro camera. "This isn't about helping you anymore," Amanda said. "It's about destroying him the right way." Mama Remy leaned forward. "Why are you really helping me?" Amanda paused. Then she looked out the window. 3 years ago, he got a girl pregnant. A girl I raised like my own. She was just 19. He left her with nothing. She died giving birth, and he never looked back. Mama Remy gasped. "I followed him for years, waiting for the right time. Then I found you. I didn't know you were kind. I thought you were just rich and lonely. But then I saw how he treated you, and it made me sick." Mama Remy's voice trembled. "I'm so sorry." Amanda looked her dead in the eye. "Don't be. Let's make him pay." They planned everything. A dinner to trap him into confessing. Hidden camera in his wine glass. and a transfer of all household finances into Mama Remy's private account. Amanda gave one warning. He's clever when he's scared, but he's stupid when he's angry. That night, Junior walked in to see both women in the dining room, laughing like old friends. "Come sit," Mama Remy said warmly. He hesitated. Amanda stood and pulled out his chair. "We saved your favorite, fried goat meat and pepper soup." He sat down slowly. The food was rich, the wine smooth, the room peaceful. But every word he said was being recorded. And the moment he leaned back and said, "I just needed the money." Old women are easy targets. Amanda reached into her purse. "Thank you," she smiled, pressing stop on the recorder. "That's all I needed." Junior's eyes widened. Mama Remy stood slowly. "Game over." But Junior laughed, cold and wild. "You think you're safe?" he said. "You've got no idea what I've done behind your back." Amanda and Mama Remy exchanged a glance. Junior leaned in close, his voice low and evil. "There's another girl in this house, and she's already pregnant." The moment Junior dropped the bomb, the air went still. Amanda's smile vanished. Mama Remy's hand, which was reaching for her water glass, froze halfway. The chandelier above them swayed slightly, as if even the house was shocked. "You're lying," Amanda said coldly. Junior leaned back in his chair, a slow smirk crawling up his face. "Check the maid's quarters. Ask Sade." Mama Remy blinked. "Sade? My maid?" He nodded. "She's not just cleaning anymore." Amanda stood up so fast her chair screeched across the marble. "You got her pregnant?" "Not yet," Junior said, chuckling. "But we've been working on it, every night." Mama Remy's chest tightened. She'd raised Sade since she was 16. She trusted her, treated her like family. Amanda rushed toward the hallway. Mama Remy followed, hobbling slightly but furious. They both headed straight to the back of the mansion, where Sade's small room sat at the edge of the servant quarters. Amanda kicked the door. Sade opened it, looking sleepy and confused. She wore a plain wrapper and a bonnet. "Mama," she asked, "is something wrong?" "Tell us now," Amanda snapped. "Are you pregnant?" Sade's eyes filled with fear instantly. "Answer her!" Mama Remy shouted. Sade's lip trembled. Then she dropped her gaze and whispered, I missed my period." Amanda stepped forward. "Did he force you?" "No," Sade whispered, looking at Mama Remy. "He said he loved me. He said, you were just temporary." Mama Remy's face turned pale. She staggered backward, leaning against the wall. Amanda pulled Sade aside and checked the room. Hidden. Behind a pile of folded clothes was a stash of expensive perfume, lace lingerie, and designer bags, things Saad could never afford on her salary. It was real. Junior had seduced her, played her, bought her. Mama Remy turned and walked away in silence. Amanda caught up with her. "Don't blame yourself." But Mama Remy didn't reply. She just whispered under her breath, "This is war." The next day, Mama Remy didn't get out of bed. She lay still, staring at the ceiling, thinking of everything she gave Junior, her home, her name, her body, her respect. And now, even her maid. She wanted to cry, but there were no tears left. Amanda sat beside her. "We still have the recordings. We still have the video." Mama Remy turned her head. "He wants control. He wants power. Then let's give it to him." "With a trap." Amanda's eyes narrowed. "What are you thinking?" "We fake forgiveness. Let him think we've given up. Let him feel like he's won." Amanda smiled slowly. "And then?" "We record his confession with Saad. Once we prove he seduced her under our roof while married, we can use adultery laws to freeze his assets. Then we drain everything, legally. Amanda nodded. I know a tech guy. He can link the cameras straight to the estate lawyer's laptop. That evening, Mama Remy called Junior. He came in, expecting a fight. But instead, she was smiling. I'm tired, she said. You win. Junior's eyes narrowed. What's the trick? No trick, she said. I loved you. That was my only mistake. He moved closer. You're serious? She nodded. You can take Sade as your second wife. I'll leave you the house. Junior blinked, confused. Just like that? Mama. Remy touched his cheek. You're young. You have needs. I understand now. He smiled. You always were smart. She smiled back. Then you'll enjoy tomorrow's dinner. I'm planning something special, just for you. He grinned, then kissed her cheek. I might finally sleep well. He didn't know that dinner would be his last in peace. Because while he slept, Amanda and the tech guy planted microphones in Sade's room, cameras in the dining area, and software that sent all footage directly to a Duke's legal team. Tomorrow, Junior would feast like a king, but by nightfall, he'd be left with nothing. The mansion smelled like pepper soup and betrayal. By 7:30 p.m., the dining room was set. The lights were dimmed. Jazz music played softly in the background. Junior walked in wearing a gold chain and crisp white native wear. His cologne filled the air like confidence. Mama Remy wore deep green lace and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Amanda sat beside her, dressed to kill in a wine-colored gown. Everything looked perfect, too perfect. Junior sat at the head of the table like a king. Wow, he smirked. Am I being celebrated? Mama Remy handed him a glass of red wine. Something like that. He raised the glass. To new beginnings. Amanda added, and fast endings. He chuckled. You two are becoming my favorite women. As the food arrived, Junior bragged about his plans. I'll remodel the house. Sade can move into the main wing. I might even start a lounge business with your estate funds. Mama Remy just nodded. Amanda smiled at nothing. Then he slipped. I've already transferred some money into my offshore account, he said between bites of spicy snail. Just in case you change your mind. Amanda's smile froze. Mama Remy leaned forward. How much did you take? He smirked. Enough to start over, and don't even think about chasing it. I used your thumbprint while you were asleep. Remember that night you drank too much? Yeah. The music seemed to stop. Amanda excused herself, quietly, and left the room. She hurried down the hall to a Duke's hidden setup room and spoke into the mic. You got that? A Duke's voice crackled through the earpiece. Every word. Keep him talking. Back in the dining room, Junior continued. Sade's not even pregnant, you know. I told her to say that, to mess with you. Mama Remy's heart burned, but she stayed composed. Why do all this? I gave you everything. Junior stood, wineglass in hand. Because I never loved you. I loved your lifestyle. You were just the gate. Then Amanda re-entered the room, holding her phone. She placed it on the table, playing back Junior's entire speech. His face turned white. Wet'n be this? He muttered. Amanda leaned in. That's the sound of your empire collapsing. Mama Remy added, Tomorrow, the lawyers freeze your accounts. You're finished. He stared at them both in disbelief, like a lion that suddenly realized it had walked into a cage. You think I'll walk away just like that? He whispered. Amanda raised her chin. Yes. Junior turned slowly and stormed out. Not upstairs, not to his car, to Sadie's room. Sade was in her room, folding clothes, when Junior barged in. His shirt was half open, sweat on his forehead, panic in his eyes. We're in trouble, he hissed. She stepped back. Why? They set me up. Everything's recorded. The pregnancy, the money. You have to lie for me. Her hand shook. Lie? About what? Say they threatened you. Say Mama Remy paid you to lie about us. If we flip this, we can sue her. Get everything. Sade shook her head. I can't. I didn't sign up for this. Junior grabbed her wrist. You owe me. Tears filled her eyes. You used me. I thought you loved me. I did what I had to do, he snapped. But now I need you. Say what I told you, or I'll destroy you too. That was the last straw. Sade broke free, opened her drawer, and pulled out a small USB stick. You think you're the only one who records things? She whispered. Junior froze. I kept everything, she said, voice trembling. The late-night visits, the lies, you telling me I was your backup plan. I didn't know why at first, but now, I do. He stepped forward. Give it to me. She backed away. It's already sent to Amanda. He stopped. Sade's face changed. I'm done being your toy. He turned and stormed out, slamming the door. But this time there was no winning move. Amanda had the confession. Sade had the evidence. Mama Remy had the lawyers. Junior had nothing except rage. Junior didn't sleep that night. The once proud mansion he paraded like a king now felt like a prison. Every hallway watching him, every camera whispering betrayal. Amanda's trap, Sade's betrayal, Mama Remy's silence. He had lost control. By morning, the mansion was crawling with quiet. Chaos. Legal papers arrived. The banks froze all linked accounts. Aduk's law firm filed to seize Junior's car, his side business, and everything he touched with Mama Remy's money. When Junior tried to enter the estate office, the fingerprint scanner had been changed. His face no longer opened any doors. Still, he refused to go down quietly. He slipped into Mama Remy's study while she was out in the garden, found her locked drawer, and forced it open. Inside, he found a folder, land deeds, a gold inlaid checkbook, and a signed property transfer form with one signature missing, hers. He smirked. If I get that signature, I get the mansion back. So he waited. That night, Mama Remy entered, her room to find a candlelit table, her favorite music playing softly. Junior stood in the corner in a black suit, holding a glass of wine. She narrowed her eyes. What's this? A goodbye, he said calmly. I lost. I know. But can't. We have one last dinner as friends? She didn't move. He stepped closer. You were kind to me. I messed up. Mama Remy raised an eyebrow. You're hoping I'll feel sorry enough to sign something, he laughed softly. Caught again. Then his voice dropped. But if I don't get what I want, Mama, I'll take it another way. She backed away. Are you threatening me in my own home? His eyes darkened. No, I'm giving you a choice. Make it easy, or watch everything fall apart. What he didn't know was that Amanda, Aduk, and 2 private security officers were already in the next room, watching everything through a live feed. Amanda leaned toward Aduk. We move now? Aduk whispered. Wait for him to confess? Something worse. Junior, meanwhile, stepped forward and reached into his jacket pocket. He pulled out a pen. Just one signature, Mama. She stared at him, calm but sharp. You think I'm scared of you? No, he whispered. I think you're tired. And I'm your only piece left. He placed the paper on the table. She picked it up slowly, then tore it in half. The door slammed open. Amanda entered with the guards. Junior's face turned to panic as they grabbed him by the arms. Aduk followed, holding a warrant. Junior shouted, You set me up again? Amanda stepped forward. You set yourself up. We just gave you the stage. As they dragged him out, he turned to Mama Remy. This isn't over, he screamed. Mama Remy looked him dead in the eyes. It's been over, Junior. You just didn't know it. The next morning, Lagos woke up to headlines that shattered WhatsApp groups, blog sites, and gossip circles. Young husband of 85-year-old tycoon arrested for fraud, assault, and extortion. Sex tape scandal leads to estate takeover. The widow who took down her toy boy. Mama Remy sat on the balcony, her tea hot, her mind quiet. Amanda sat beside her, scrolling through the news. "You're trending," Amanda said with a half smile. "I don't want fame," Mama Remy replied. "I want peace." Amanda nodded. "And you have it now." Downstairs, Amika was changing the locks. The mansion was being swept clean, emotionally, physically, legally. Every trace of Junior was being erased. Even Sade had packed and left quietly, leaving behind a letter that read only, "I'm sorry. I was foolish." Mama Remy didn't hate her. She just hoped she learned. As the day wore on, Amanda turned to her. "What will you do next?" Mama Remy sipped her tea. "Live. Finally live without shame." Amanda smiled. "And if another man comes?" Mama Remy laughed softly. "Then I'll remember to ask for his birth certificate before his heart." They both burst into laughter. But far away, in a holding cell with cracked concrete and flickering light, Junior sat quietly. No smile, no phone, no charm. Just rage. One of the guards leaned toward him. "You were the guy who married the old billionaire, right?" Junior didn't respond. The guard laughed. "Next time, marry for love. It lasts longer than lies." Junior closed his eyes, but his mind was already racing again. Plotting, waiting. It had been 3 weeks since Junior was dragged out of the mansion. Mama Remy was healing slowly, physically, emotionally, and socially. Her face returned to its natural glow, her laugh came easier, and her nights were finally quiet. Amanda had returned to Port Harcourt, promising to visit soon. A duke continued handling the court proceedings like a machine. But just when Mama Remy thought peace had arrived, chaos rang her doorbell. It was a Wednesday afternoon. Amika opened the front gate to find a young woman holding a baby wrapped in lemon green cloth. She looked no older than 24, her eyes swollen from crying, her face tired and sunburned. "I need to see Mama Remy," she said softly. Amika hesitated. "What is it about?" The woman held up the child. "It's about him, Junior." Mama Remy was reading on the balcony when Amika announced the visitor. As soon as the woman entered the living room, Mama Remy sat up sharply. The girl went straight to the point. "My name is Nora. This is your grandson." The room fell silent. Mama Remy blinked. "Excuse me?" Nora's voice cracked. "I was with Junior before he met you. We were serious. I was pregnant when he left. When I saw him on TV with you, I almost lost my mind." She held out a small envelope. Inside were photos, Junior and Nora together in hotels, at events, at home. One showed him kissing her visible baby bump. "I didn't come here for money," Nora whispered. "I came because I have nowhere else to go. Junior left me with a baby, no support, and no future." Mama Remy felt her world tilting again. Another woman, another lie, another innocent life caught in the crossfire. She took a deep breath. "Does Junior know about this?" Nora nodded. "He told me to get rid of the baby." Mama Remy looked at the child, big eyes, round cheeks, a familiar smirk. He looked just like him. Back in the holding cell, Junior sat on a worn-out mat, speaking quietly to a small black phone hidden in a hollowed Bible. "Heard she found Nora," he said into the mic. The voice on the other end was male, rough. "She's staying at the mansion? For now. Do you want me to remove her?" Junior's voice darkened. "No, let her stay. She'll finish what I couldn't." There was a pause. Junior continued. "She's desperate. All I need is for Mama to show weakness. That baby will break her down." The voice responded. "And when she breaks, we take what's left." Junior ended the call and smirked. Meanwhile, Mama Remy stood by the nursery room she never thought she'd use again. Nora sat on the rocking chair, breastfeeding quietly. "I'll let you stay for now," Mama Remy said softly. "But I want honesty. If I find out you're part of any trick..." Nora's eyes watered. "I swear I'm not. I just want peace." The baby burped. Mama Remy smiled faintly for the first time that day. "What's his name?" "Jamil," Nora said. Mama Remy looked out the window at the setting sun. A storm had passed, but behind it, another cloud was forming. One tied in diapers, desperation, and deception. She didn't know if Nora was a victim or a villain, but she was sure of one thing: Junior wasn't done. For the first few days, everything looked normal. Nora helped in the kitchen, changed baby Jamil's diapers without complaints, and even joined Mama Remy for evening walks in the garden. The house was calm, almost too calm, but Amanda didn't trust the calm. One night she called from Port Harcourt. "Install cameras in every room," she warned. "Including yours." Mama Remy chuckled. "You think I'm in danger? I know Junior. He never fights a war and leaves one sword behind. That girl may not even know she's being used." The next morning, Mama Remy told Emeka to sweep the house again. Every corner, every outlet, every cabinet. Emeka found nothing suspicious until he checked the nursery. The small guest room Nora had turned into Jamil's space had one strange detail: no camera, not one. He came back quietly and reported, "All the cameras are still in place, except that room." Mama Remy frowned. "We installed one there during renovations. I checked the ceiling. It's been pulled out, wires cut clean." Her heart sank. That afternoon, she sat Nora down calmly. "Did you remove the baby cam?" Nora's eyes widened. "What? No. I didn't even know it had one." Mama Remy stared at her. "You sure?" Nora hesitated. "Maybe the housekeeper moved it?" There was no housekeeper. That night, Mama Remy reviewed older footage and found something chilling. A shadowy figure entered the nursery at 2:13 a.m., stayed for 6 minutes. Left with nothing, but no one reported it. The cameras only caught the hallway. The door was slightly ajar. The figure wore a hoodie and gloves. Someone had broken in. Someone knew about the blind spot. It started with a cry. At 3:02 a.m., Jamil's scream pierced the mansion. Mama Remy woke up instantly. She rushed down the hallway barefoot, heart racing. She found Nora cradling the baby, tears in her eyes. "He was fine. He was fine, Mama," she cried. "I left for 1 minute to pee. When I came back, he was on the floor." Mama Remy checked the baby. No bruises, no injuries, just crying. But her gut said something was off. By morning, Emeka came in with a discovery. "Madam, look what I found behind the nursery shelf." It was a small recording device, black, unlabeled, blinking red. Amanda joined the call by video immediately. Emeka connected the device to a speaker and played the only saved file. It was Junior's voice. "Nora, you know what to do. Get in, win her trust, let the baby do the rest. And when she signs over the inheritance, send the documents to me in cell block D. Don't mess this up again." Silence. "Oh, and make sure that old woman believes you're her second chance at motherhood. She loves saving people. Use it." Mama Remy's face went cold. Nora was standing in the doorway, pale, lips quivering. I didn't know he was recording me." Mama Remy turned. "So it's true." Nora collapsed to her knees. Yes, it's true. He found me at my lowest. I was homeless with a baby. He promised me freedom. He said you had money just lying around. You used my kindness," Mama Remy whispered. "I changed. I did, I swear. After staying here, after watching how you cared, how you fed me, protected my baby. I couldn't go through with it. I removed the camera to protect Jamil from being watched, not to trick you." Amanda's voice echoed from the tablet speaker. "Mama, it's your call." There was a long pause. Mama Remy looked down at Nora, trembling. "I'll keep the child. Safe," she said softly. "But you're leaving today." Nora cried harder. "Please, just let me stay until I find where to go." Mama Remy stood. "You came into my house with lies. I won't let you poison what little peace I have left." She turned and walked away. But in her heart, she felt it again. That ache of being used, of being too trusting, of watching people wear masks, and only seeing the truth when it's too late. And far away in prison, Junior received a text on a smuggled phone. Plan failed. Mama found out. He stared at it, then deleted it and typed, "A new message. Then we use fire." The prison lights flickered. Sweat rolled down Junior's temple as he crouched beside a rusted bunk bed, typing fast on a smuggled phone hidden beneath a fake Bible cover. He had lost everything: money, reputation, allies. Nora was out. The baby was no longer leverage, but he had one weapon left: chaos. He sent a message to an old associate, Tunde Scorpion, a street fixer from Mushin who owed him a favor from years back. "It's time. Light the match. Make her feel it. No names, no details, just instruction." Later that night, a small delivery van stopped outside Mama Remy's estate gate. The driver wore a courier uniform and held a food delivery bag. The security guard barely looked twice before opening the gate. At 2:03 a.m., Mama Remy's mansion alarms screamed, "Fire." Thick black smoke filled the eastern wing of the house. The nursery. Amika burst into action, kicking down doors. Mama Remy, coughing but alert, helped grab the fire extinguisher. Within 20 minutes, the fire was controlled, but damage had been done. One guest room and half the nursery had gone, up in flames. The fire department confirmed it was intentional. "Traced to a petrol-soaked rag in the AC unit," they reported. "Definitely sabotage." Amanda flew in that same day. A Duke arrived by evening, and Mama Remy? She stood outside. The charred nursery, eyes wet but mouth firm. "This is no longer about pain," she said. "It's about ending him." The next morning, Mama Remy summoned every ally she had left: Amanda, a Duke, Emeka, her private security head, and a former journalist friend named Kola, who now ran a popular Lagos social media news page. "I want the world to see what he really is," she said. "Not just through court papers, through truth." They came up with a plan. One final trap. They would organize a fake TV interview. The hook? A wealthy woman seeking forgiveness for marrying a younger man who betrayed her. They'd pretend it was a pity piece. That Mama Remy was softening. That she wanted to reconcile with Junior for the child's sake. The goal? Get him to talk. Get him to confess. And this time, live. Through some legal backdoor magic a Duke had mastered, they got a special request approved. Junior would be allowed a live virtual court hearing for emotional closure. But instead of court, it would be a national live stream. Kola handled the cameras. Amanda handled the setup. Mama Remy handled her heart. The day arrived. Mama Remy sat in a plush chair, makeup perfect, demeanor calm. A fake interviewer introduced her, and then Junior's face appeared on the large screen, patched in from prison via a controlled link. He smirked. "Didn't think you'd want to see me again." "I've had time to think," Mama Remy said. "So, forgiveness?" he asked, smug. "Something like that," she said. "But first, I want you to admit what you did. Everything." He laughed. "You think this is therapy?" Behind the camera, Amanda gave a slight nod to Kola. "Junior." Mama Remy leaned forward, voice soft. "Let's start at the beginning. You married me. Why?" "Money," he said, no hesitation. "And the other women?" "I needed real women, not retirement homes." The audience watching the live stream gasped, and Nora, tool, like the rest. "And the fire?" He paused, then grinned. You can't prove that. A duke stepped into the frame. Actually, we can. Kola clicked play on a second screen. A blurred security cam video showed Tunde Scorpion dropping the petrol-soaked rag. Then Junior's voice recording came next. Light the match. Make her feel it. His smile dropped. You set me up, he roared. Mama Remy stood. No, you set yourself on fire, Junior. We just gave the world the match. The video ended. The nation had seen it, heard it, understood it. He wasn't just a gold digger. He was a criminal, a manipulator, a danger. And now, he was alone. For real. The live stream shook the nation. Blogs exploded. Radio stations dissected every word. Twitter in Nigeria trended for hours under hashtags like Mama Remy vs Junior, Justice for Remy. Gold digger exposed. Lekki love gone wrong in less than 48 hours. The Lagos state government added new charges to Junior's case: arson, attempted extortion, identity fraud, and child endangerment. The evidence was overwhelming. Even his cellmates stopped talking to him. Mama Remy didn't attend the first 2 court sessions, but she made an appearance at the third. In full black lace, dark glasses, and silver heels, she walked into the courtroom like royalty. The moment Junior saw her, he couldn't stop staring. He looked thinner, tired, humiliated, but still, his eyes burned with arrogance. When the judge asked if he had anything to say, Junior stood and cleared his throat. I was used too. Everyone wants to act like I'm the villain. But Mama Remy was desperate. She wanted me to make her feel young again. Gasps filled the courtroom. A duke stood calmly. Do you have proof of that claim? Junior stuttered. No. But, then sit down, the judge snapped. In the final moments, a duke submitted the last piece of evidence. A signed confession from Nora stating Junior coached her to manipulate Mama Remy and fake pregnancy. That sealed it. Verdict: guilty. On all counts. Sentence: 18 years in prison without parole. As the gavel dropped, Mama Remy finally breathed. Her body didn't shake, her heart didn't race. She just stood and walked out. Free. A week after the trial, Mama Remy was invited to a women's empowerment event in Abuja. She almost said no, but Amanda insisted. You've inspired millions, Amanda said. They need to see the woman who stood up to shame and took back her dignity. So she went. She gave a simple speech. No tears, no drama. Just the truth. Love should not make you feel small. It should not ask you to shrink yourself just to be desired. And if someone enters your life wearing a mask, don't blame yourself when they remove it. Heal and move on. She received a standing ovation. After the event, she stepped out to the courtyard garden for some air. And that's where she met Mr. Obinna. He was 63, widower, calm, intelligent eyes, owned a chain of pharmacies in Abuja. He had followed the trial from the start. I admire your strength, he said, and I won't lie, my heart broke for you. She chuckled. Mine too. He smiled. But it healed beautifully. They talked for an hour. Then 2. Before leaving, he handed her a note. When you're ready to smile again, call me. Back in Lagos, she sat in her balcony chair, rereading his note. She wasn't ready. Not yet. But for the first time in a long while, she could. Imagine being ready. But far away, in prison, Junior watched the broadcast of the trial again on a smuggled tablet. His eyes didn't blink. He scrolled through social media posts, saw memes of himself with captions like, "How can you fumble an 85-year-old billionaire? From mansion to mosquito net." His jaw clenched. He had time. 18 years of it. And he wasn't done planning. It was a quiet Sunday morning in Lekki. Mama Remy was sipping zobo by the pool, a novel resting open on her lap, when Emeka approached holding a plain brown envelope. "This just arrived at the gate," he said. "A young delivery boy brought it. No return address, no stamp." Mama Remy raised an eyebrow. "Who sent it?" He didn't say. He just said, "Tell her it's from the past." Her hands froze slightly as she took it. The handwriting was familiar, sharp, slanted, arrogant. Junior. She opened it slowly. Inside was a single handwritten page and one printed photo. It was the old photo of her and Junior dancing on their wedding night. She looked younger than she remembered. He looked cunning. The smile on his face made her skin crawl. She unfolded the letter. "Dear Mama, you think you've won, that you finally cleaned me out of your life. But even prison has windows. I may be locked up, but my words aren't. And you, of all people, should. No, I never leave without leaving something behind. I'm not writing to beg or threaten. I'm writing to remind you. There are things you didn't know, places your cameras didn't see, people you still trust who are not who you think. Start with Emeka. He's not as loyal as you believe. Ask him who got him that job 5 years ago, and when you find the truth, ask yourself this: did you really outsmart me?" Mama Remy lowered the letter slowly. Her breath was calm, but her heartbeat roared like thunder in her ears. She looked up at Emeka, who was already walking away. Her mind raced. He had been with her for 5 years, loyal, quiet, protective. But how did he get the job? She had never asked. Aduke handled the hiring then. Was Junior already planning this before they even married? And if so, was Emeka part of it from the start? Or had Junior planted doubt just to tear her world apart again? She picked up her phone. "Aduke," she said firmly, "I need you at the house, now." That evening, Aduke arrived with files in hand. They went straight to the private study and closed the door. "You believe the letter?" Aduke asked. "I believe the devil likes to whisper in cracks, Mama," Remy replied. "And Junior knows where the cracks are." Aduke opened her folder. "I pulled Emeka's employment records. You're right, he came highly recommended by a man named Obinna Lawal." Mama Remy's eyes widened. "Same name as the man you just met in Abuja." Her jaw tightened. "You think it's a coincidence?" "I think Junior doesn't have many cards left to play, but he's smart. Planting a seed of doubt? That's a classic move, but here's the twist." Aduke flipped another page. "Obinna Lawal is real, but he's not the man you met in Abuja. That man used a fake name." Mama Remy stood, heart pounding. "Who is he really?" "We're still tracing him, but it looks like he's been following your story for a long time. Longer than Junior ever knew." Silence filled the room. Mama Remy slowly walked to the window. "Then the game isn't over?" Aduke nodded. "No, it just entered its final round." The very next day, Mama Remy sat in the estate's private surveillance room, watching old footage Amanda's tech guy had helped her recover. Weeks' worth of data. Hours of silence. But then, there he was. Obinna. In the Abuja event footage, he approached her by the garden. But in earlier recordings, he could be seen near the registration table, speaking with one of the volunteers, who later admitted that Obinna never signed in, never gave an ID, and left before the crowd dispersed. Amanda, now back in Lagos, was furious. "He was hunting you. He knew your story too well, knew the right words, the right tone. That wasn't coincidence. That was training." Aduke tracked the number Obinna used to call Mama Remy after the event. It led to a burner SIM, and that SIM's last location? Near Kirikiri Maximum Prison, the same prison holding Junior. Everything suddenly made sense. He wasn't a stranger. He was Junior's plant, groomed to seem kind, mature, and romantic. The perfect, healing love interest. Amanda said it first. "You were supposed to fall for him, trust him, and put your guard down. Then he'd move in and finish what Junior started." Mama Remy's fingers tightened around her teacup. So, he lied about everything. Aduke looked up. Not everything. We ran his real identity. His name is Victor Anaba. He's not just a con man. He's a former military intelligence operative. Dishonorably discharged for wire fraud. Guess who paid? His bail 2 years ago? Junior? Mama Remy whispered. Amanda nodded. He was the final weapon. That night, Mama Remy didn't sleep. She called Emeka into the living room the next morning. He came barefoot, still tying his wrapper, eyes innocent as ever. Yes, Ma? She studied him. The boy who had served her meals, locked her doors, protected her like a soldier. But now, everything was in question. Who gave you this job, Emeka? She asked quietly. He looked confused. You did, Ma. Don't lie to me. A duke found your file. You were recommended by a man named Obinna Lawal. His face changed. Still, calm. Still blank. Then finally, he sat down. I didn't know it would go this far, he said. Silence. I just needed the job. Junior helped me when I had nothing. He said all I had to do was keep an eye on you. That's all. No stealing, no lying, just watch. Report when he asked, that's all. And you've been reporting. All this time. Emeka lowered his head. Until recently, after I saw what he really did. The fire, the threats, the way he used women. I stopped. You should have told me. I tried, but I knew you'd never trust me again. Tears filled Mama Remy's eyes, but she didn't let them fall. I trusted you like a son. I became one, he shouted. I protected you, even when I didn't have to. When Nora tried to sneak out that night with your jewelry, I stopped her. When Junior sent his last message through the envelope boy, I intercepted the second one. You think I'm a spy? I became a shield. He pulled something from his pocket. Another envelope, unopened. This was supposed to reach you next week. I kept it. A duke opened it. Inside, another letter from Junior. If this doesn't break. Her burn the house! Mama Remy stared at Emeka and saw not just betrayal, but redemption. A week later, Mama Remy stood outside Kirikiri Maximum Prison, the sun burning down like judgment from the heavens. She wore white, not for forgiveness, but for clarity. Her scarf was neatly tied, her heels sharp against the pavement. Behind her, a duke waited with 2 prison escorts. She had requested this meeting personally. The guards opened the steel door. Inside, Junior sat at a small metal table. He looked different now, face gaunt, beard growing wild, orange jumpsuit, wrinkled and stained. But his eyes, still poisonous, still arrogant. You came, he said with a smirk. Even after all that, you came back to me. I didn't come back, Mama Remy replied, slowly sitting down. I came to end something. He chuckled. You already ended everything, Mama. Took my money, my team, my reputation. What else could you possibly want? She leaned forward, calm and deliberate. I want you to see me smile, truly smile, while you rot. Junior blinked, but said nothing. I know about Victor, she continued. Your Obinna, your final trick. Junior tilted his head. So? I also know Emeka was part of your original plan. But guess what? He chose me in the end. Junior laughed. You think that boy changed sides out of love? People don't change, Mama. They just wait for the right offer. No, she said, eyes locked onto his. You don't believe in loyalty because you've never earned it. But I have, and I always will. He slammed his hands on the table. You think you've won? They'll forget you in 6 months. You'll die old and alone, and I'll still be remembered for this. Circus! People will make films about me, about us. She stood up. You won't be remembered as a man, only as a warning. And with that, she turned and walked away, heels clicking louder than his curses. She didn't look back, not once. Months passed. The mansion was rebuilt, the nursery repaired, the fire-damaged rooms redesigned. But this time, no gold, no crystal, Chandeliers, no showy decor. Mama Remy chose peace over flash. She established a foundation for women survivors, named it the Remy Fund. It provided legal support, safe housing, and small business grants to women trapped in toxic relationships. Amanda took a leadership role. Aduke served as the legal head. Even Nora returned, not to beg, but to volunteer. She worked in admin and helped counsel new mothers, using her pain to serve others. Mama Remy forgave her, slowly, quietly. As for Emeka, she didn't fire him. But she didn't trust him with keys anymore either. Instead, she paid for his university. Education then helped him relocate to Ghana, where he started a new life far from Junior's shadow. The final loose thread was the letter Victor had tried to deliver. Its contents were never revealed to the press, but rumor had it that it contained detailed plans to rob not just Mama Remy, but 3 other older women in Lagos high society. With the evidence, the authorities reopened several cold cases. Junior's sentence was extended by 12 more years. One night, while standing on her balcony beneath a full moon, Mama Remy whispered to herself, "He came into my life like a storm. But I survived, and now I am the rain." She looked down at a small envelope addressed to herself. It was from Mr. Kola, the journalist who had streamed the infamous interview. Inside was a certificate. Mama Remy, African Woman of the Year. She smiled, not because of the title, but because she knew. Her name was no longer tied to Junior. It now stood for strength, for wisdom, for fire that refused to be consumed.